So let's run a review real quick. All right. So beginning of the night started off pretty good. We had the women's elimination chamber. The women's elimination chamber. I'm not gonna run through who came in, who first and last, and all of that, but it was pretty good. I mean, it started off with a bang with the debut or the return of Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's been out for several months. She was attacked, written off the show. She has some things to do in her personal life, of course, but she was written off the show by being attacked in the parking lot, brutally assaulted by who knows who. So they had that storyline going on for several months as she was missing off TV. And they had the whole clue type of thing. Who done it, who did it, whatnot. So last week, Liv Morgan was the one that ended up being the one blamed for her and the big chick. And they played that narrative all the way up into the match, into the Elimination Chamber. So it was predictable. Everyone kind of knew Jade Cargill was going to pop up at some point. And we knew that if you follow the show, you follow how this thing is written, you knew that Biggie is talking right now. God, I wish I want to hear what he's saying. But oh god. But so you knew that Jay Cargill was gonna show up. You just didn't know when. But it made sense for her to show up right in the beginning, set the mood, set the tone. I'm coming for this bitch right now. Excuse my French. I'm coming for you, and I'm snatching wigs off. And she came straight up into Naomi and blasted her right in the face. And from that point on, it was on. She threw her through the cage. I mean, and shout out to Naomi for taking all of those, to taking all that punishment. She took some spots in that Jade Cargill assault to get Jade Cargill over. That's some veteran shit that she was doing, and I appreciate that. That's good. That's what veterans are supposed to do. That's what professionals are supposed to do. So, excuse me, I'm still watching. I'm watching this thing live as they're still talking, but yeah. Now as that goes on, you got one less woman, and you have four women going for it, and Alexa Bliss had a good showing. Bianca Belair had a good showing. Uh, Make a long story short, Bianca Belair wins the match. No surprise there either. It's no need to get into how the match ended. The right person went on top. The right person went over. Bianca Belair had to win that match. Now, before I go into why she had to win it, I got to give a shout out to the women. The Elimination Chamber was really good. It was one of the better women's Elimination Chambers I've seen in quite some time. I mean, they had spots all over the place. They was jumping off the top of the pods. They were taking some nasty spills on through the cage, through the pods, the whole nine. I think they actually took more spots and used the actual Elimination Chamber cage more than the men did, to be honest. I think the men kept it in the ring for the most part. Now, as far as back to being the right choice being Bianca, the right choice definitely was Bianca. Because who else, who else could it be, right? Who else could it be, right? Who else has the ability, the stature, the star power to even compare or even be taken seriously when it comes to Bianca Belair? No one. Let's just be real. She's a top star as far as Rhea Ripley is concerned as well. She's a top star. Both of them are top stars. They've never really faced each other in a big spot like WrestleMania. It just makes sense. Now, how is that dynamic going to play out? I still want to know, did Bianca Belair did she totally not know what happened with Naomi and Jade Cargill? Because we really don't know, because everything happened so fast. Jade Cargill came in, beat Naomi's ass, and that was at the end of it. So that still has to be tied up because she needs to have answers. So that'll be interesting. And who's going to play, how are they going to build, Bianca and Rhea now? How is that going to build up as Bianca ties up loose ends with Naomi and Jade Cargill? As far as Bianca winning, that's the right choice. The next match was followed up by probably the most I don't know, not the best, probably the least best match. I mean, if you had to judge all the matches, this is probably not the best one on the card, but it was placed in the best spot that it could be placed, right after the women's elimination chamber. And that's exactly what happened. That was Nia Jax, Candice LeRae versus Tiffany Stratton and Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. My bad. That's a tongue twister right there. But those two had their thing go down. I mean, it was a lot of botches in that match. There was one in particular that scene when Tiffany Stratton got kicked off the top rope when she was going to do that backflip spot. LeRae kicked her, and Tiffany slipped and kind of fell in a weird way that could have tied up her leg up into the top rope. That looked kind of scary. Didn't happen. Thank goodness she didn't get hurt, because that would have been the same way Charlotte Flair got hurt a year ago. And it's funny that she's facing her in a month. So that would have been tragic for WWE. But didn't happen. Again, the right people went over again with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus going over. Tiffy and Trishy time. Yeah. Now, next match. The next match was a barn burner. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned street fight match. These dudes they fought all over the stadium. They were all over the stadium, every single spot, going through all the tables, spot after spot, as far as false finish after false finish. It was no joke, man. It was everything you would have expected by two guys who have so much chemistry in the ring together, who's had a million matches against each other on the indies and in the pro scene. So it was really no surprise, to be honest. So yeah, they killed it. They ripped it up. It might have been the match of the night if you don't count the elimination chambers. It probably was the match of the night. Other than that, Kevin won. I was disappointed in that. I was talking about this during the live stream. I said how important it was that I thought Sami should win the match, because Sami has more to gain if he wins. Sami has to win something. Like, what's the point of having a guy like him being supremely over with the crowd? Listen, Sami's not one of my favorites. He's not. But I respect his ability in the ring, and I respect the fact that he's super over with the crowd. It's undeniable. And it's been far lesser men who've carried that goddamn title. Far lesser. So why not put the strap on Sami once at least? So him losing tonight did nothing for him. In fact, in my opinion, it just buried Sami even further in the dirt where he was already living. So now that Sami's out of the picture, what's next for him? I don't know. He's out of the picture. Now you get Randy Orton coming back. Perfect time for him to make his return, going after Kevin Owens. Now you got a reason for Randy Orton to be at the big show at WrestleMania. You want all your biggest stars to be there. So to have Randy Orton involved is just common sense. It's money. It's dollar signs. So Randy Orton comes back, return. It's going to be him and KO now. So that's off to the races. He's trying to come and get his revenge. I was hoping, praying to God, he was going to get his hands on Kevin Owens and punt his head. But he didn't get a chance to punt his head, unfortunately. We have to wait for that. Hopefully, he'll get to punt his head at WrestleMania. So, we get all the way to... Oh, look at my phone still going crazy. We go all the way into the main event, which was the men's elimination chamber. Now, like I said, I think the women did a hell of a job with all the spots that they did in that match and using the chamber the way they used it. The men, not so much. They kind of kept it safe for the most part, and for good reasons, because a lot of those guys in the ring are in major storylines at WrestleMania. So they could not afford any of those guys in the ring getting hurt. Not at all. So they kept it safe for the most part. No complaints about that. They kept it in the ring for the most part. Everybody got their stuff in. I said during the live stream that being such a huge fan that Logan Paul is of the wrestling business, I know he's a huge mark. So I know he marked out because he was able to do something that a million people would love to do, millions of people would love to do, and that's take, some of these legends, top finishers. And he was able to do that in one match. He took John Cena's five knuckle shuffle, his AA attitude adjustment. He took CM Punk's GTS. So shit. He can go. He could stop wrestling today and say, you know what, I took all of those moves in one night. And some guys who are in the business want to be in that position and probably won't ever be in that position, because those two guys, like I said, Cena and Punk, they're not going to be wrestling forever. So yeah. So it gets to the finals. Rollins gets eliminated because he was in the final three. Punk, Cena was the last two, and those two kind of went at it. And then Rollins made a spot as Punk was trying to crawl towards the outside of the ring. Rollins came out of nowhere and hits him with a curve stomp right to the outside of the ring. Cena, being an opportunist, pulled Punk right in the ring immediately and said, I'm sorry, and pinned, or not pinned Punk. He put him in the STS, or FTS. Is it STF, I think? The submission hold. He did that, and Punk passed out. He didn't tap out. He passed out because, after that curb stomp he took, he passed out. Once he passed out from that, Cena wins the match. So, two things happened. Cena did a heelish thing by taking advantage of what Seth did to Punk, which is something Cena normally doesn't do. That's point number one. Point number two, Seth, in my opinion, attacking Punk unjustly turned him heel. So Seth undoubtedly should be getting booed on Monday Night Raw after what he did to Punk. He screwed CM Punk. He is officially a heel now, and he should be getting booed Monday. So after that, Cena wins. Out comes Cody Rhodes. Let's get right to the decision. They didn't waste no time in WWE. Got to give them credit for that. They wasted no time jumping straight into the plot line. The plot line of the whole night was, what was Cody going to do? Give up his soul or nah? It turned out Cody stood up on business and said, you know what? Fuck off, Rock. I'm not selling my soul because it ain't for sale. The people already got it. The people. So Cena, as he was looking behind Cody and watching the whole thing, and once he said that to Rock, Cena, doing typical Cena and yucking it up. Oh, yeah, you got him, man. Dapped him up and shit, brought him in for the dap in the center of the ring, hugged him in, and then he looked at Rock with a serious face, and the Rock gave him the cutthroat. And Cena nodded, pulled back, smiled, and proceeded to kick Cody Rhodes right in the ding-dings. And then the crowd at that point was watching the show like I was live, saying, holy hell, John Cena finally did what was right for business by turning heel. Why not do it now? What do you have to lose on your last run? Turn heel. Take the belt from Cody. Now, I'll get to what's going to happen. But anyway, him turning heel was right for business. It made no sense to me, like I said during the live stream, it made no sense to me for you to win the match in your current form as the same yuck it up John Cena we've seen for 20 goddamn years, going against the biggest babyface, white collar, white meat babyface in all of professional wrestling, and Cody Rhodes. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that as the main event. Nobody. That's not selling me. And I'm sure that's not selling a lot of other people who follow this. So you had to come in there and you had to shake it up and you had to make people believe. You had to make people interested. And what better way to do that than turning heel? It's what's best for business, baby. It's what's best for business. Cena finally did what was best for business. So as he turned heel, he proceeds to beat the holy hell out of Cody after he kicks him in the ding dings. I mean, he just, he starts hitting him with his father's Rolex rocks. This is supposed to be the late American Dusty Rhodes's, Rolex watch that Cody, got back from the WWE brass. It's a Rolex watch his father sold in the 80s that they magically was able to get back. And Cena, the first thing he does, the first heelish dick move he does, is take the goddamn Rolex and peppers Cody in the head multiple times with it. So that's total disrespect to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. After that, he takes the belt, and not the weight strap belt. We're talking about the actual championship belt. He takes that and he hits Cody multiple times over the head with it. And I was saying it live, saying, man, Cody is actually taking these shots straight up to the head. He wasn't covering up at all. I said, oh, Cody's trying to. He even with the shots he was taking to the head with the Rolex, it was clear to me that he was trying to get color. He was trying to get busted open the hard way. Because Cena was leaning in. And Cena was leaning in with those belt shots to the head. They were straight up belt shots. They were real shots he took to the head. You can hear the shots his skull was taking as the belt was hitting him in the head. And he busted him open the hard way. And then Rock came in, leaned in, and gave him some more as far as the belt, weight belt shots, the whippings that he gave him last year. The whole Mama Rhodes thing was all back again. So point is, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, once again gave a big FU to the fans and saying, just shut your goddamn mouths, buckle up, and enjoy the ride that I'm going to take you on. He did it again. That son of a bitch did it again. He was able to do it again, pull the wool over all of our eyes. He did it again. Right around the right time. Money time. WrestleMania time. Rock, man, he's turning into Vince McMahon, whether it's a work or not. Whether it's a work or not, he's turning into Vince McMahon. But we're back on with the whole final boss thing. People were getting soft. They were unhappy about the character softening, and The Rock turned it up another notch and turned us on our heads again. Just like Roddy Piper once said, just when you think you got all the answers, I change the questions. I think he said that. But man, what a night, what an ending. Now we get to see heel Cena. This is the perfect time for Cena to win the championship. Now, what I think should happen, this is what I was saying during what I was going to say as far as the final bookings of what I think should happen in WrestleMania and what will happen. Cena's going to win. He's going to win 17. The Rock is going to make sure he wins 17. And it's right. It's what's best for business. Now I'm behind it because it makes sense. I don't like Cena. I don't like the guy. I think his reign was, a reign of doom. But damn it, this is what's good for business. And he deserves to get that title reign. And it's going to be great because it gets Cody back into the chase. And then you take that belt right off of him before the end of the year. Give Cena a whole run, maybe all the way up until SummerSlam. Who knows? But Cena should have a long reign until it's time for him to give up the strap right back to Cody. This is going to be excellent storytelling for the rest of the year. This is going to make the WWE a ton of money. Cena and Cody and Rock is going to make the WWE a boatload of cash. Get ready to print some more cash, TKO, because man, oh man, they're going to have a boatload of cash coming back to the company. They're going to make 2 headquarters. They're going to make multiple headquarters after this year. I tell you what, I can't wait. I cannot wait for this to come to its final manifestation. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the night. That's my final review. Support the live stream by supporting the page. As always, subscribe to the channel. The channel always has these live streams or reviews or every other kind of content that magically pops up. It's always good to have the support. So follow, share, do all the great stuff. Also, look around into the summary and the description boxes below. We do have affiliate links in there sometimes. That's another way you can support the channel. That will help out a lot and grow the whole network.